Hello, welcome back to Divine Reading You. And today, I wanted to just do a little bit more a review today. But I would love for everybody to just subscribe. If you're actually seeing this post and seeing this video, go ahead and just subscribe. Like, share, let people know that I'm giving readings and I'm doing reviews. I would love it if you could just come into the fold and just rock with me a little bit, okay? So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the movie that I just watched last night. It's called Ghost, okay? I'm sure people have heard of Ghost, the movie, and I'm just gonna look up okay, why are you, okay, movie Ghost, because I want to know how, okay, so this movie, this is wild to me. It was made in 1990, and it has, Patrick Swayze, Patrick, I don't know how to say his name. Demi Moore and Whoopi Goldberg is also in it too. And so I really like this movie. I've seen it. It was a long time since I've seen it, but I was excited that I saw it on my list on Netflix. Because really it's a story about a man who dies and then he comes back, or he doesn't come back. He always was there. He never left. His spirit never left when he died, and he solves his own murder, which is amazing because yeah. So it's really cool. There are great little scenes, and there's like a fanciful energy because there are spirits walking around and he's talking with them and stuff like that. So it's cool in that way. And yeah, he becomes a ghost. The thing that I there are a lot of different parts of this movie that I really enjoy. Obviously, that's why I'm talking about it. But the thing was that there was a point where he could go up to heaven, or be with the other ancestors, right? And he decides, no, like, I'm not, no. He's like looking over his dead body, and he's like, no, I what, like, I'm not ready. Like, it's like, it's, yeah, it's very kind of shocking. But that was just very interesting, like that idea that, like, yeah, we have a choice. And also he's talked to some other spirits that are moving around, and basically one of the spirits, he's on the train. He's a guy who's always on the train. I think he died in the train accident, and he basically was like, yeah, I'm not ready to go, right? You can tell he's like, I'm not ready to go up to heaven or whatever, and I'm trying to figure out what you know what happened, how did I get to this place where I'm, so it's just like, it was just really interesting. And the energy of grief around this story is really like palatable and very like vibrant, because like his partner, who is, her name is what's her name in the movie? I mean, her name is Demi, but Molly's her name. And she keeps trying to figure out, like, okay, like, he's here, he's not here, and stuff like that. And so it's just very interesting. So the spiritual part of it, where like Whoopi Oda Mae is her name. Oda Mae is Whoopi Goldberg, and she is a spiritualist, right? Or she's like, I don't know what they call her actually. Maybe I don't know exactly what they would call her, but she can hear his voice, and and she's just a good actor, right? Like, just like because she does play through, like, and say, like, oh, sorry, about to, like, pick this up, but she basically says like, yeah, I am scamming people. I recognize that, but now I'm having this experience where I can actually hear this ghost, you know, and so it's just very interesting, and it just I feel it brings um to the surface that like yeah, if you do spiritual things like play around with what is it called, Ouija boards, and sometimes even tarot and stuff like that, like you are opening yourself up to things, you know, and I think that's a good thing to kind of like recognize, you know. And but then she just talked about this is something from her family, and also this is like it was probably a part of like hoodoo practices or things that are from the continent, you know, and that where in Western society where we're taught to like not deal with those things because they're like evil or something like that. But as you start to learn about your own history and your own identity, right? You can recognize, oh yeah, these things aren't maybe as evil as we originally thought. Um, so I think that's a good part um, of this story, um, and yeah, the other part is like the fact that he figures out like this, his partner, the guy that he worked with, like was stabbing in the back, right, for money, and that's what it was all about, and that is like such a huge thing. So many of the things that I've been sharing as far as like reviews on here, like it's about money. People are willing to do a lot of things for money, and I just that's just interesting to me. And like this is why when we do look at the Bible, right, the Bible does say like it's not really the love of money, it's the love of, or like it's like the love of, yeah, the evil that comes from like the love of greed and stuff like that. So all the spiritual aspects of this are very interesting to me. And then like they give the money back to a nun, which is like $4 million a check, after they get the money out of there. And you know yeah, so it's like it's it just kind of bringing to my mind that like the point of this was the guy who was stabbing him in the back, he was only supposed to get his wallet, because that's the wallet had the information to be able to get the money and whatever. And he died, and that's just like heartbreaking, right? Like, and that's what he held on to. That's what he was like protecting when he got shot, was he was like, oh no, just take the money, don't take the wallet, because I need my wallet, you know what I mean? And um and then it was his friend. Like it's heartbreaking, but I do love that like he did like haunt him a little bit, and he needed that, right? And he needed to like feel that a little bit, that like no, you can't just like do stuff, and like I like the idea of like there's consequences, right? To when bad things happen, even though it's not like um he was an innocent person, he wasn't doing anything wrong, and then for him to lose his life is really really sad. So but yeah, I really love this. Is really the connection, that chemistry between um the actor who died, Patrick Swayze, and Whoopi Goldberg. Sorry, the way they can like talk back and forth, and they just have a good energy. It seems like they probably worked on that uh, uh, um, quite a bit. Sorry, I'm having a little issue with my words right now. But yeah, and And it's interesting, his girlfriend is just like watching, so she's like, oh no, she's definitely talking to something. Because she couldn't see him, but she was relaying the message that like, oh, he's here. So I really love that, and it feels really like a love story, that he's willing to protect his partner. And I mean, it's just like so heartbreaking because life, you know is cut short, and he was trying to hold on to that, right? And the other scenes were when, you know they're they're dancing together, and Oda Mae Brown, she like says, you can use my body to be with your partner, right? And you can just feel there was so much love between these people. And I feel like that's just a heartbreaking storyline that we use a lot, is like, oh, they're so in love, and then they're broken up. It's never the story is like, oh, we're not really into each other. Like, I mean, I'm sure that it absolutely happens, where it's like we're not doing great with our relationship, and then someone dies. But it's like, it's like, oh my goodness, it kind of feeds into the fantasy of like, oh my goodness, love is like, eternal or something like that. But they did have it was very sweet. And the part that really struck me was when, they like, you could tell it was like great acting, because they just like were holding each other's gaze for a very long time and wanting to like, not let go. So it was very sweet. What else can I say about this movie? Um, yeah, I just think it's like really nice. It's a good, and it's not like scary. Oh, there were the spirits. Um, so you could kind of go down the road of like talking about spirituality, and like, when people are die, like, so the guy who killed him, and also the guy who set him up, his friend, like when they die, because they do in this movie, the spirits that come towards them and come and get them are from the dark side, right? And they're kind of being dragged away into this darkness. And yeah, I think I wonder about that. I wonder, what people would say about that. And I feel like, there really is spirits, obviously, around us. But it is interesting to think about, there's a dual place. Like, there's either you're either going to heaven, or you're either going to hell. And maybe you're in like the middle. He's a spirit right now, walking around and talking with this woman, he's in the middle space, right? Same with those other spirits that were there talking with him and stuff like that. And yeah, mm, yeah. I mean, I don't remember how this movie has is its rating, or as far as like, if is it it's PG-13. So I was gonna say, like, maybe a young person could watch this, and what might they think about it? It's a '90s movie, so the young people today would be like, I don't want to watch this. But it could, I don't know if it could spark some kind of conversations or something like that, because it's really a conversation around like what happens when you die, because the message is like, okay, yes, now I've figured out how I died, and the murder and stuff like that, and people are paying or whatever, and getting their justice for what they did to me, and now I can live in paradise. And so it's just interesting to me. And also, like, when he first got up from being shot after being mugged, while he was about to get mugged, he got up and started running after the guy, um, and went back to his body, and didn't realize that he had died. Right, his body had gotten up so quickly. So, I mean, there was a thing, lessons of like, oh, it's very quick. Your body, your spirit can get up very quickly, and you can go on to the next plane in this universe or whatever. And so, just recognizing like, oh, it doesn't have to be full of pain, and you can go on to the next life. But yeah, so this is really lovely. I'm glad to share this with you, and let me know what you think. Go ahead again and subscribe. Yeah. And that made me think about like, oh yeah, when Whoopi Goldberg, she also encountered some nuns in this movie as well. So just thought that was interesting. Yeah. So go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, and talk to you soon. Bye.